All right. Joe Biden celebrates the 31st anniversary of the Americans with Disabilities Act, the ADA. It's that wheelchair ramp up to your office or your favorite restaurant. Handicap stalls, those showers in hotels. I don't know if you've ever had the room that doesn't have a bathtub. This is the ADA at work, and sort of a slew of other policy to make sure that people with disabilities are not excluded from sort of the normal things in life that we sort of take for granted as people with good bodies. Anyway, at the White House ceremony remarking on the 31st anniversary of the ADA, Joe Biden said, quote, "We made important progress, but we still have work to do. We have to keep going to ensure that every single American has a chance to contribute their talents and thrive to succeed." Pratik, happy birthday, Americans with Disabilities Act. Good touch or bad touch?
Well, I mean, respectfully, Keen Dog, the way that you introduced that segment is precisely the problem with this issue. I mean, you set up the issue by pointing out all the amenities that happen for people with disabilities. I would have shown the spotlight on a very different aspect of the law, which I think in many ways is more important. If you guys have watched this recent Netflix documentary of Rick Singer, that college admissions guy
Who's
cheating
Rick Singer?
you know, that college admissions counselor who was basically faking and
Oh,
helping
who
rich
like
people.
bribed the kids into USC and
Exactly.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, the ADA is responsible for some of the most egregious fraud in this country. For example, when rich kids with lawyer parents basically figure out how to exploit the ADA to get extra time on their standardized tests, there's a massive amount of fraud in this system. And this is the aspect of the ADA that I think any president ought to be talking about if they're really trying to
Massive
assess the
fraud,
legacy.
massive ADA fraud.
But we don't talk about that. We sugarcoat
It's
the
true.
impact of these
It's true.
regulations and
Yeah.
create a false narrative around it.
I think, look, I'm going to take the Elizabeth Warren side of this. I remember when she was saying childcare is infrastructure because a lot of women can't work full time because they have to take care of their kid. I feel like there's also an overlooked element of this. I'll speak from my own experience. Like when you have someone who's disabled in your family, now this isn't strictly ADA. This is sort of Medicaid and some other things adjacent. But like you, having support from the public, public institutions to support disabled people is very important because otherwise those people can't go to work. So from like a ruthless Adam Smith capitalist perspective, I think there is a good reason to make it easier for disabled people to live because the number of people it takes to support a disabled person, it's like the old military doctrine that a landmine should wound a soldier because a wounded soldier slows people down more than a dead one. It's sort of the same thing to me.
Yeah,
Ooh, that's such a good point.
I mean, let's talk about that too. I think even if you accept that the government should be regulating the way disabled or any other class of people are treated, and I don't accept that premise, but even on those terms, I think the ADA has actually proven not to be the right policy. Because anytime you create a set of regulations for employers around any protected class of people, I think it actually creates an incentives for employers not to hire people from that class in the first place, because now you're assuming all the regulatory burdens that come along with it.